A beautiful ride. If you've never been to Yosemite, you gotta go. I can't stress it enough. I was only in Yosemite really for the day. The prior night, I had gone up to Glacier Point. That's another video. And this view right now was just the appetizer of letting you guys know. And, you know, anybody who rides in Yosemite from the South Point, you know, you're always going to get that view, whether even if it's just socked in weather-wise. It's just there's a gap, you know. It's tantalizing. It just makes you wonder what is it, you know, what is it that I'm about ready to enter. So this is the famous tunnel right before you get to the view of Yosemite Valley, the Ansel Adams just classic photo coming out. I have a fascination with tunnels. I don't know what it is about it when I'm riding my motorcycle, but I guess because it's encapsulating, you got nowhere to go. You go straight on through. What I did is I backed up from the vehicle in front of me just so I can kind of open up a little bit, and that way it wasn't impeding my view as I was emerging. The tunnel view to Yosemite Valley. So this is a famous stop. Everybody should stop. If you don't stop here, it's only because you're used to it, or maybe you know there's more to it. You just have to take it. I didn't get off my bike. I just stopped to stretch really quick, but the intent was to just get a quickie. You know, I had an agenda in mind, and it was just more or less to make sure I had enough time to get to where I needed to go. The drive, like I said, versus getting to Glacier Point the prior night, where it took me 2 hours, it actually took me longer than 2 hours to go from Mariposa Grove, which is also on the road to Glacier Point. That area had just reopened, like, I think a month prior, after being closed down for 3 years. A lot of construction going on, a lot of slow traffic. There's many different points on the road that I had to literally stop and turn my bike off because of one lane closures, you know, trimming and just getting stuff ready. Yosemite Valley, though, you can't beat it. You know, every national park that I've been to so far, I think I counted 13. There's something magical about it, and I've been fortunate to go to all of them. I've never ridden a national park on a motorcycle. Again, this is my first year having a motorbike. I haven't had my license for very long. I've only had it really since April, and this is July. So I took advantage of it. I knew I had the time. I just needed to kind of trust my ability to drive. This was the first stop, which was Bridal Veil Fall, and you know you'll see a couple of just sexy bike shots. I'm letting go of my bike. I'm leaving him here in California with my sister because I'm moving out of the country for a few years. As much as I would like to take him, it's not practical where I'm going. Next stop was Yosemite Falls. So 2 years ago, when I'd first gotten back to California, I had gone to Yosemite. I had a weekend to do it. I was living in the Bay Area at the time, so again, interesting how full circle I'm able to get back to a place that I didn't think was feasible. But anyway, Yosemite Falls was a very difficult hike for me. It was beautiful because I initially had come to Yosemite to see if I could hike Half Dome, but you have to win the lottery on that, and those are sometimes 6 months out. Sometimes you just get lucky, and I didn't really want to press my luck on that one. So when I came in 2016, I hiked Yosemite Falls. It was 7 miles round trip, very difficult. I was telling a friend of mine that if he ever gets out here, he should do it. I mean, I don't know if his hips are healthy enough to do it, but I think he could do it. Anyway, that was my intent 2 years ago. My intent this time around was just to say, you know what? I rode for 4 hours to get here. I rode an extra 2-3 hours to get in and out of the park. I'm on my bike. It's different when you're in a car versus a motorcycle. I mean, not a lot of people really understand that unless they start riding. but it just takes a lot out of you. So I'm not complaining. I'm not trying to say that I'm better than anybody. I'm just saying that if you ever get a chance and you're brave enough to ride a bike or a motorcycle, you should. It's so different. And I've mentioned it in past videos that being on a motorcycle is very eye-opening on a lot of different levels. If you can do it because you have the means and you're curious and you're willing to try something new. I mean, obviously it's difficult when you have a family. You want to take a family vacation. I mean, I'm in a place and stage in life where this is the best thing for me. I had just sold my car to my roommate, so that was how I had gotten here the last time. I've been to Yosemite actually a total of 3 times. I've come in the summer. The first time I came was back in 2003 as I was moving to the Midwest. The second time obviously was 2 years ago as I had just arrived back in California. And this one, so this was a final trip basically as I leave the States. Interesting turn of events. But you know, there's something about being on a motorcycle, as I've said before, that you just get a different view. You appreciate the view. Now, I'm not saying that being on a motorcycle is absolutely magical the entire time. It is very taxing mentally and physically. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When I drove this way, I had to drive through 100-degree weather for pretty much the entire time until I got here. It actually started raining as I was leaving. And those changes in weather, I mean, it's hard. You know, it is physically draining. And I'm on a bike that you can't really cruise anyway. Again, I'm on a 300 sport bike, trying to go places that require up to 3-4 hours of just sitting in one spot. So I was pretty sore. I can't complain though. This was leaving Yosemite Park. I think this was Tioga Pass, or at least a part of it. I had initially planned to ride all the way out to the Nevada border, but it would have been really difficult. You know, even for me, having ridden, as you know, the longer trips that I've taken so far, I kind of abandoned that. So I'm glad I had a change of direction, and it was actually worth it. Although I was kind of sad a friend of mine couldn't come with me. But anyway, the rain was a relief. I knew I had to go back into 100-degree weather, just going back towards San Jose and the Bay Area, and I managed to get, I don't know how this worked out. I don't know if my gas meter was off or whatever, but I made it all the way from Yosemite Valley basically to Fremont on 1 tank of gas. I don't know how. I couldn't tell you. I mean, if I had to sell you on getting a motorcycle, that would be it. It's just fuel efficiency was amazing. I'm pretty sure I was running close to pretty much droplets of fuel by the time I got to a gas station. And luckily, you know, since I used premium, I mean, that was all the station had. This particular station was pretty busy. But basically 250 miles on 1 tank. And my tank is 4 gallons capacity. It's just unreal. I honestly think my motorcycle was lying to me. Anyway, Yosemite. You know, John Muir got it right. Hazel Adams got it right. You just gotta go. You know, my video doesn't do it justice. I'm still in awe. Look at those clouds up there. You gotta go. You know, don't leave it off your bucket list. You know, if you can fly out somewhere close by, see it before you die. See as many national parks as you can before you die. I'm hoping to see Alaska at some point, but this'll do for now. It was another amazing ride.